What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Psychonauts podcast. We're on episode 10. We got a little bit of changes here going on today. Just an odd little change of setting. We've got ourselves our first guest, quite odd, Mr. What would I call you, Brad Baker, or Brent Balber, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know. You can say your real name if you want. If you don't want to,
it does not matter.
It does not matter.
I don't care.
We'll call you Jerriatric Olffinger. How about that? Is that a good one? We'll
I
call
like
you
it.
I can't wait for Alex to try to spell Jerriatric Olffinger out. Yes, let's start this.
Yeah, there we go. So please work with that, Alex. I think that's a good name to go with.
We trust your decision and how to spell it.
Or just call him whatever you want. Anything works. Adolf Winkler, if you wish. That's probably copyrighted, but might
probably
work. So we have ourselves an assembly of fools today, a nice little motley crew to go about our little conversations on everything. We'll see how this turns out. I feel slightly centered out on this one with the change of our fucking pace being directly in front of the camera.
Yeah, how does that feel?
Actually, not bad because I feel emasculated at the same time being on a smaller
it's cut
chair.
off about right here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not on your guys' level, so it still kind of takes me out of the picture a bit, which is nice.
The audience has to see your shirt. Stand up.
Oh, yeah.
This represents brotherhood. I've got two friends coming together. These guys have never once met in the fucking meat body space before. So that's quite an odd assemblage that we have for today. So I had to wear my brotherhood shirt to symbolize that we're all together peacefully and harmoniously.
It's a nice harmony your fucking stool's making.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Season.
Amori paz. I learned that this week. Peace and love, my friends. So that's what we're here for. Miss Cecilia? Yes, exactly. My seat is fucking squeaky, so I'm going to try my best to avoid that today. We're going to get another seat over here for when we do have other guests on, when Brett comes back or whoever wants to come back. So yeah, that's a good little starting point.
Yeah.
I don't know if either one of you guys have anything to say. Brett, if you would like to address the camera.
Yeah.
First time.
I've known Vlad for about 7 months.
7 months, man. So cheers to that, right? Yeah.
And he's definitely a character. I don't know anyone else like him. I can tell you that. That boy challenges me every day. I learned either something new or I really have to think hard. So, but
have to
it's
resist
good.
the urge to like grab your box cutter.
Yeah, just
actually, I grab it for him. So yeah.
Oh my god.
How is that going?
Yeah, it's going pretty well.
Oh my
actually.
god.
Yeah. I am flattered by that.
Psychonauts.
I guess it would be good to just address right off the bat that we're partners. We work in the same place. We're not going to say where we work at, of course, as we've said in previous points, but we do work in the same place. This is my underling. This is my grasshopper. Even though he's older than me, I'm passing on my wisdom and knowledge to him.
Open book.
Yeah, at a horrible little factory that burns the life out of us down in Middlebury, Indiana. So there's that much for you guys.
That specific?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still not giving nothing away. So yeah,
Town and country.
it's kind of a good place to start. Old Aldi boy, you got anything you'd like to address before we fucking really dive into the nitty-gritty?
That I want to fucking knife these fucking people who are double honking their fucking cars.
We're on a podcast, people.
For real, we got plenty of weapons up here. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah, this is the fucking chief.
This is going to be the next Waco, Texas, just so everybody knows. You can call me David Koresh. Or we can all be David Koresh, whatever you want.
Okay.
I would say it should be fun until the U.S. government burns us alive.
Yeah. Then we can be forever symbolized as somebody that goes against the grain. So we'll see how this goes.
Somebody who wanted to live peacefully in a house and just wanted to own guns at the same time.
Exactly.
Never bothered anyone until the ATF showed up to take away their guns.
Yep.
And I'm not a fucking true gun nut. Like, I believe in the Second Amendment, but I mean,
we should do an episode on Waco, actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Stay tuned, everybody. So I feel a really good place to start off for today would be as a slight interview, since we've never actually had a guest on here before. It's nice to get into that process of like an interviewee type deal. You know what I mean? Because
That's
they've
kinda
heard
what you do.
exactly. It's kind of what we do. They've heard us speak before, and nobody likes hearing what we have to say, and we're not fucking interesting, and we've got plenty of boring things to talk about. So,
You're not gonna get any extra views with me.
well, that's not what you've told me at work, my friend. I believe we're
I'm a
supposed
jokester. I'm around you too much.
I believe we're supposed to hit 1 million views on this. Isn't that what we were saying? Let's hope.
I'll upload it next week, and by Friday it's like 250,000.
Hey.
For some reason, it's
No,
250.
I'm too humble for that. That was my evil twin.
You may be the shining star, my friend.
We can hope though.
Good place to start, I guess, is at humble beginnings. I believe you're from Indiana. I don't know if you really want to say where you're from in Indiana, but
northern Indiana.
northern Indiana. That's a great
close to
way to put it.
Michigan. So
Exactly.
just on almost the line.
And you are quite a bit older than both of us, actually. 28 years of age, so you were
Almost,
born,
yep.
what, 94? 95?
93.
93, okay.
Yeah.
So
My birthday is all nines. 9999.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
that is cool, actually. Yeah.
It is. I hate saying it because I've been saying it since I was a fucking kid.
Mm.
And it's like, oh yeah, my birthday's 9999. It's like, who cares?
Oh,
Yeah, man, there's power in the 369.
Yeah.
There you go, exactly. Nikola Tesla. But yeah, I mean, that's,
Ultimate power.
yeah, obviously, as we talk about at work every day, I think Indiana's an absolute shit state. Michigan's so much better. That's a little.
I can't back up Indiana for the most part, to be honest. We go at it just because it's something to joke around.
Something to get at
work.
That's a little shit topic. I'm trying to joke because I clearly can't fucking diss Indiana when I work down there and I literally make my living in Indiana. Which I
yeah,
hate.
boy.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
took our drives.
Yeah, they're cracking the whip down there. That's for sure. You don't have to
work
deny
on that
that.
show.
Yeah.
Understaffing for the past fucking 2 months,
Mm.
and they don't really give a fuck.
Dude, that's how we get fucked over too. Is because they don't want to fucking give us enough people. They don't want.
Really
They
understaffed.
say we're overstaffed. We're over the amount of hours we're allotted,
Of course
but then that's why we have 1-2 people working each shift each day.
Mhm.
It's like, great.
Yeah.
It's because it's working that they don't need to do it anymore.
Mhm. It's because they know you can do it, but you don't want to fucking work like that every day because you burn yourself out.
Yeah.
And that's why they have so many people who walk out all the time. Yeah, I may be able to do this, but I can't keep up this rate of consistency for months on end.
Mhm.
That's how you kill people.
You can't
Yeah.
recharge your stamina.
Mhm.
It's just goes so much until it's point. It's like I can't keep going.
It's impossible. But aside from my joke about Indiana, so yeah, you've got a little bit of a generational perspective compared to what we do. You got quite a bit more time on you. I know I definitely talk about a lot of random bullshit that you don't necessarily know right offhand what I'm talking about, but you do the same thing
Right.
in certain degrees because there are certain cultural events that that are so apparent in your mind that just completely fly over my head.
Right.
Because
It goes back and forth.
exactly, it goes back and forth.
Were the 90s as good as people thought they were?
I mean,
For-
so
for
I'm
a
a
little bit.
kid
Say
at
yeah,
that
for a little
point. I
bit.
mean, I really do cherish my time as a kid. I mean, that was priceless. It was just just not a care in the world.
Mhm.
So it's
So
just
you
I
were-
remember I lived next to a school. And you could actually hop the fence, my back fence, and go in the school, and you just ride on the swing. I was
Yeah,
always
give a
doing
shit.
stuff like that. Kids around the neighborhood. There was a bunch of kids. I mean, literally, there was just so much to do. There's the woods 2 houses down that we used to have bike trails. We'd just ride our bikes or whatever. I mean,
Different
Nice.
from growing up in mid to early 2000s where people are going to, or 7-year-olds have tablets and iPhones and
iPhones,
shit,
yeah.
and they never
Yep.
they'll go outside occasionally. Some of them have a little bit of a semblance on what benefit is
Right.
outside from
Yep.
being out there, but not too often.
It's just not entertaining enough
Yeah,
anymore. There's
yeah.
so much you could see. You could broaden it so much more with technology and whatnot than seeing the same tree that you've been looking at your whole life. It's like
But-
I'd rather play on my tablet.
I do have to say it saddens me because that does fall on the parents to some degree because they don't show or they don't make their kids understand the value of what really is out there and outside of the house. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge advocate for video games and, you know, anything that can take up a good amount of time in an entertaining way. You know, that's beautiful, but you have to be able to find that level of balance in both ends because, you know, yeah, as much as I like to play video games and I like getting sucked into the world of Assassin's Creed, I love to go out and mushroom hunt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Represent. Represent.
I don't get sucked into Assassin's Creed.
but just as much as I love getting sucked into, you know, Assassin's Creed, I love getting sucked into going out mushroom hunting and just breathing the fresh air and walking through the woods and climbing over the trees and being where, you know, we're supposed to be in a sense. We're so far removed from nature, and it's because people just throw a fucking tablet in their kids' hands so they can try and parent them that way, and it's really quite pathetic. I mean, I understand it to a point, but that's when you still have to stand up, you know, and you've got to take your kids camping or doing whatever.
Well, I feel like that's actually exactly the reason why it's a problem, too, is because the mom and dad are also on their phones, so they have less time to play with their kids. So they just give them what they're doing anyways. And that's why they're not outside playing catch or playing hide-go-seek or
my girlfriend's kid is really good about that. Like, he has, like, a lot of time on, you know, tablet or Xbox, but when it's nice out, he'll ask to go play outside.
That's good.
Nice.
Like, he's not at the point where he's, like, being forced to go outside. He's, like, asking, hey, can I go play outside, like, ride my bike and shit like that. And that's good to see, especially in, like, an 8-year-old of today.
Right.
It's really good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because it's becoming so abnormal. You know, it's kind of going extinct to do that. It's like no kids are outside anymore. You only have to worry about hitting any kids in the street anymore because there's none.
Yeah, they're all in their house.
Yeah, it's dying out. And that's why I do want kids, and I'm excited to have kids. I want to be able to teach kids with my own morals and my own ways, but man, not yet. Who the fuck knows what's going on right now? It's a crazy time we fucking live in, you know what I mean?
It's unpredictable.
Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of reports coming in about how Russia's talking about the United States, and, you know, they're moving a bunch of aircraft carriers and fleets of soldiers and everything towards the Ukrainian border.
Should I wear my gas mask in next week's episode?
Man, you might have to. Unfortunately, you may just have to.
It's gonna be a purge.
It's a scary time we live in, and, you know, whatever people try to make it seem as if it's a political issue by a Democratic or Republican or this or that, and that's, you know, that's a childish way of looking at it. We're all in this together. It doesn't matter what perspective you want to look at, you know, the beating heart of the issue. The beating heart of the issue is what it is, and we are all joined together in the same fight, regardless of what perspective you want to look at it from, you know, and I get disgusted. I am proud, as I mentioned in the past episode, in a sense, because, you know, it shows how much people still care about the country regardless of what side you're on. It shows that there's a level of pride of trying to return our country to something great or greater than it has been. But it's the dissolution of being able to have an actual conversation, a civil conversation on both sides, which really disgusts me and disappoints me, even from my 20 years of age, you know, whatever the fuck you want to say. Like, call me young, call me fucking naive or dramatic or whatever you want to say, but that's just the way that I see it.
So I love that very small tidbit of, you know, Tom McDonald, the rapper, right? Well, I love his, like, small line, you a white supremacist, if you're not, I guess you're Antifa. So it's like, you're kind of, if you're, like, more of a centrist, I feel you're pretty much caught between both. Like, Republicans are calling you, like he says, Antifa, liberals are calling you KKK member. And it's like, I don't fall on either side of the fence on that.
Exactly.
Like, I'm right down the middle. You have some policies I agree with, they have some policies I agree with. Like, it just all comes down to, like, being able to openly talk to those people and try to get everything merged together and make something that can work for everyone.
What I believe,
not one thing can work for everyone.
Exactly, and what I believe happens is that people are attracted to the fact that they can find defense within a group of other people, of like-minded individuals, and the problem is that, yes, it's okay to find defenses and to come together with like-minded people like that, but you don't want to become completely possessed with what that party or that institution or whatever it may be. You don't want to be completely possessed by that institution. You still want to be able to think for yourself on every level, no matter what group, no matter what religion, no matter what party, philosophy you subscribe to. You must think as a sovereign individual. And that's what the fundamental principles of our country are founded on. Truthfully. Truly is. Truly is.
The burp really added into it.
I know. I hope so.
Okay, Alex, we're back into it.
So yeah, we're back. We took a little cut there for a second. I don't really know even where to go. Do you guys have any ideas? And we could hit our main topic, I guess. Yeah. We've kind of been bullshitting now for about 24 minutes. I don't know if you realize, but time actually goes by really quick when you're doing this. Yeah. I mean, fuck, we've been rapping about nothing for 20 minutes, you know what I mean?
That's never nothing.
So one thing that's really interesting, I called you out actually on the last podcast. It's like, oh, that motherfucker left me alone for work, and I was exhausted, and I had to take a break and take a nap.
I couldn't do anything about it. I'm sorry.
Man, I
had to do it on that Friday.
And that's how it happens. I mean, that's a complete joke. I mean, I know that's how it happens. I mean, I'm not worried about that.
Maybe if they would find some way to, sub someone in, then you wouldn't have to
schedule people
by yourself.
And that's what they fucking should do. It's bullshit that they don't. But I mean, we're not gonna talk about work. But but anyway, so you had to miss last Friday, so you could go and get laser eye surgery.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually
Lasik,
pretty insane. If you want, would you get up close and show the camera your eyes? Your eyes are actually they've dimmed down a bit, but they're still insane looking. You look quite like you're possessed by the devil.
Might be.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
But give a rundown on LASIK surgery and everything that goes into it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess starting with it, I needed glasses about maybe 4.5 years ago.
Okay. And so you would have been, what, 24 at that age? 23?
Probably around, yeah, it was around that time. And I didn't get normal yearly checks or anything like that. Didn't even think about it. It's just, I'm not one to go to the doctor before.
Same.
I broke my leg. I told you about that back in sophomore year in high school. And I waited 3 days before I ended up going to the doctor. So, I mean, my family's not one to go unless you're, severely bleeding or you have a reason to.
And I get it, man. I hate going to the doctor, to be honest. I try to avoid it as much as I possibly can too, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just, it's so expensive too if you don't have insurance. So it's like,
It's interesting to me too that you said you got them around 23, because I'm at 20, turning 21 in a couple months now, and I've noticed since I was about 19 that I think I needed a pair of glasses. First time I realized it, I was in class up at NMU actually in the English writing class, and I borrowed my friend. Fuck, what was her name? I guess names don't matter. I borrowed my friend's glasses, and I was like, let me try your glasses, blah, 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 that kind of shit, and I put on the glasses, and I didn't expect it, but the board fucking cleared up. I was in the back of the classroom, and then
you're my soul partner.
And, she was beautiful, too.
There you go.
But the other day, we were at work, and I put on Audrey's glasses, actually. And when I put on Audrey's glasses, it, literally, the fire extinguisher and everything, it cleared up.
Oh, wow.
So I actually think I'm to the point, right around the age that you said, that I might need some glasses myself. Yeah. Just an odd little time frame that it hits you like that,
I mean, it's probably normal. I mean, you got kids that are young that need glasses, so I mean, I guess in a way you're fortunate to last this long, but with food, processed food, stuff like that, depending on what you eat, that also kind of slowly kills your vision.
And it goes to show you may or may not have some type of something that's ailing you in some way, and you don't even realize it because you're so used to the diminished feeling or the feeling of pain that you push it off, and you don't even realize how it's severe that it happens.
See, when a few years ago, I think it was probably about around 2012, 2013, This motherfucker keeps stopping.
I know, yeah.
Just make sure you speak up for the audio.
Yeah, alright.
But,
sorry, Alex.
Yep, sorry, Alex. We tried.
Yeah.
That is recording, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I hope.
So you're on episode 5. You know that we. But yeah, so in like 2012, I think, my dad was like getting like flashing in his eye right here, right in the peripheral of his vision, and he was talking to a dude he used to go to his property and hunt on, and he was like, "You might want to go to the doctor, get that checked out." So he did, and my dad found out it's fucking eye cancer.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I don't know.
It's a type of, it's a rare one. It's a type of glaucoma, but I can't remember exactly what it was called.
How recently did you say that was?
That was in like
12
or 13. I can't remember.
Damn, dude, I didn't know that. Fuck.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's. I'm not sure how much it's clearing up, but the tumor is getting smaller.
That's good.
Yeah, he had to go in, have surgery. They removed the eye, and then they like
Oh,
hook,
yeah, that's nuts.
and then they hook a radiation patch to the back of the eyeball.
Oh,
And then make him wear a patch, and he had to be consolidated to a room to himself for a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Because
nuts.
of the radiation in his fucking eye.
And then they removed that patch?
Yeah.
What?
And then he went in for follow-up surgeries, or not surgeries, but, excuse me, injections, where I think they numbed the eye a couple times, like kind of like that shit they put on pregnant women's stomachs and shit for ultrasounds.
Yeah.
It was jelly like that.
Gel, yeah.
But numbed his eye, and they put the needle in while he's awake.
Oh,
to
no
inject into
way.
it.
I could
Yeah.
not do that.
Wow.
I could
Yeah.
not do that.
Like,
That's your nightmare.
Yes, my
I gotta-
nightmare, bro.
I gotta give my dad credit. He's a fucking beast when it came to that shit.
Wow.
Like, he took that on the chin.
Wow, that's nuts. I did not know that.
Dad is still alive, everyone. He's
Yeah.
still kicking to this day.
He's cool as fuck, too.
Oh, yeah.
Does he watch at all?
I think he watched like the first one.
Yeah, it makes sense. I wouldn't get through all this shit either, but
Yeah.
that's cool, though.
Especially if it was family. I understand family not watching every single fucking one of these. It's like,
Exactly.
hey man, you watch my podcast yet?
Mm.
You're that annoying cousin at the family
Yeah.
get-togethers at that point.
Yeah,
It's
just like, hey, just go sub
Hey,
and
bro,
like every
go
video.
sub.
We don't care if you
I'm a
actually
little
watch.
desperate. I mean,
Yeah,
wow,
we're-
man, you're my number one fan.
We're coming up. We're coming up.
Yeah.
Come on. Help
Please
us
give me
out.
likes.
But same thing with you though. Really, I mean, you said that you didn't get put out at all, and they
No.
fucking literally cut the lens of your eyeball.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude!
With the glasses, I realized that I needed them, and so I had them for about 4 years. And within probably the first 6 months, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I play competitive adult softball, and those are just a pain to do that. They get scuffed up, and then it's like you can't see in your normal day-to-day life at work. And since I've had them, they got scuffed up more, and it was just a pain. So I knew for a while if I'm gonna have to wear glasses and I've tried contacts too, and I have a hard time touching my eye. I got a little bit used to it for the most part, but it just became so difficult to do because if you press too hard, you'll flip it inside out. You have to make sure it's right. You have to make sure it's hydrated. If you have it in your eye for too long,
Go fucking like
it'll start getting dry. You have to take them out and refresh it. And it was just a lot that you can't sleep with them in. They say don't do that because they can roll back.
I
no
can't remember who I
way.
knew that had him roll back, but I think it happened to him twice in the same fucking eye.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! I never knew that could happen.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That's insane.
I think it's because like when you hit REM sleep, your
Yeah.
fucking eyes start moving everywhere.
Yup.
Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, that's scary as fuck to me, actually.
But I did that, and but I couldn't because I was so not good at it, and I was not really making improvements. it was taking me an hour sometimes to get both of them in.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there in front of my mirror in the bathroom, and the 3 lights they get pretty hot when you have them on. I'm sweating putting that on just because I've been standing so close to this light, and it was just, I was like, I can't do this. So I'm like, it was always in the back of my head to get Lasix. I knew what it was. I didn't know every single detail, but I knew what it was. And I'm like, I just don't care. I don't want to spend the rest of my life wearing glasses or trying to get contacts in. I'm like, I'll bite the bullet and just pay, I paid $3,500. I've also have insurance, so it could be more depending on where you go and if you do not have insurance.
You paid $35 out of pocket.
$35 for both.
Jesus
It
Christ.
was $1,750 per eye.
A lot of money, but would you say it was worth it?
Yes,
Yeah.
getting to it's gonna be worth it because I'm gonna be able to see in the long run. I don't need to wake up, throw glasses on. An example of wearing glasses was like swimming. I would have to take them off. I can't see.
Yep.
It doesn't make it as fun. I
Yeah.
can't really see what's around me. I mean, it's kind of blurry. You'd have to be this close for me to really be able to see you because I have pretty good near vision, but I just can't see far. So everything just gets blurry, and that was. Yeah, so that was that, and like riding the roller coaster when I went to like Cedar Point or like Kings Island, the glasses weren't super snug, and I was always afraid that I'd hit a loop or something like that and they'd fall off, and I'd just be screwed then.
Yeah.
So
Understandable. That'd be horrifying, especially if you like paid for the glasses yourself. And
I bought Oakley ones. And they were alright. I'm like,
Damn.
I shouldn't have done that, but they were, to me, felt like they were the best looking ones on me. So, but so I went there. I made the appointment. I got with my insurance. Everything just worked out. Seemed to work out fine. I was blind enough to be a candidate to being optional to get it, and I was like, yeah, let's go for it. Like I'm not gonna screw around with my eyes being blind for the rest of my life. It's just not worth it to me. So I set it up. I had to go in there to get pretty much a checking to make sure, and they did the testing. Like, you got to read the letters, and I got to cover the eyes with no glasses, and they're like, yeah, you're pretty blind. So I was like, all right. So they set it up a month later, and that was that Friday, and they got it done. And I was there. I probably was there for a total of no more than 55 minutes.
See, that's insane to me.
Yeah.
That's what I find absolutely fucking insane. You can literally have a surgery that completely changes the course of what your eyes have and changes your whole entire life, your whole spectrum of what you can visibly see about reality in less than an hour.
Yep.
That is absolutely insane.
And the thing that I've already thrown out to you, because you asked me that day, texting me like, what up, man, how you doing? It only took about between 15 and 20 minutes for the actual surgery.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All the rest was like prep.
Yeah. It was all talking to me. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. You need to put these drops in. You need to go.
So what does the surgery entail? Like,
that, I will admit, was probably to this day the most uncomfortable thing I've ever been through.
Yeah.
And I told him that was very uncomfortable. It's not fun. It's doable. For me, I don't know if it's a pain tolerance or not. I wouldn't consider it painful, but it was like it was like someone sticking like 3 brooms in the side of you and just kind of you're just chilling with a broom, just kind of it's that uncomfortable feeling where it doesn't matter what you do.
It's not
like
bad.
sleeping on a air mattress for the rest of your life. It's just
It's not bad, but you don't want it happening.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
but it's worth it. It's a sacrifice.
It's worth it. And supposedly they say on average about 15, 20 years is when it kind of goes back downhill and you got to do it again. But with the one that I went to, it's a lifetime warranty. So when it does go bad, I just have to go back, make the appointment.
Don't have to pay anything for that?
I don't have to pay anything.
Wow,
else.
maybe that's why it was so expensive initially.
Right, and I checked them and I compared them to the other ones. There was another Lasik place that was not as up to date, and they had They actually used blades, real blades. The ones I use are
I know, me too.
They're laser. The laser is
bro.
actually what cut my eye. It's up to date, yeah. But they had that, and they said that between the two, that one would only be a few $100 less, and it's not a lifetime warranty.
It is insane to me, and it makes sense, why you would pay that much for the value of having the lifetime fucking insurance on to be able to go back and get it and update it and all of that. But it is so insane to me that you can get a procedure that well done in 55 minutes, 40 minutes from here. You know what I mean? You don't have to go to fucking Chicago to have that done. You don't have to go to Detroit.
For me, it was 2 hours, but for you guys.
2 hours, but from this location, that far. And, even 2 hours, though.
No,
to drive that far to have something that advanced done to your eyes just shows, the level and how far that medical science has come. It's absolutely insane.
20 years from now, who knows? That might be something that lasts twice as long.
Yeah, or something you can even do in your home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have machines maybe that can just fucking fix everything wrong with you. Kind of like fucking Fallout, you're just customizing your character in 20 years.
Or you just go there and it could be even less, It could be something, look into it, and it could be lights that just end up fixing it yourself.
Yeah, some UV lights.
I hate to change over the topic so fast because, of course, it's going to run into this with what we have culturally and politically and everything that's going on in the world right now. But, with medical advancements and how things are going, it's just insane to me, with COVID shots and things like that. There's a huge stigma that's attached to people that don't want to go and get vaccinated at this point in time. But me personally, I just don't believe that it's prepared. I'm gonna wait at least a year and a half until I know for a fact, okay, it's sound for me to get this. I know there's 6 people that had blood clots. Yeah, it's only 6 out of millions of people, but that's still 6 people. With my fucking luck, I would be one of those 6 people.
But the only reason those side effects, I think, are being so popularized is because it is the COVID-19 vaccine. It's been a political thing since it fucking began with Trump, shutting down travel to China. And everyone was calling him, racist for doing that at first. But then all the Democrats were wondering why he opened the borders back up after he opened them back to China, saying this was the wrong move to use.
And it is completely politicized, and I don't even look at it from that perspective. I know most people do. I look at it from a literal scientific and medical perspective. It has not been tested long enough for me to know what the long-term consequences of getting the shot are. And that's just where I stand. Yes, it's political, but that's not how I look at it. I know a lot of people do, but not me personally. But
you're thinking about your health.
Exactly. I'm
looking
long
something
term.
About just because I don't like this person, that's why I'm not going to get it. We're not being childish about this. It's you're putting this in your body.
Yeah, if something's not going to reduce the risk of transmission or the fact of me or giving it to somebody else, then what is the real point of me getting this fucking vaccine? You know what I mean? I will wait until I know that the statistics are clear and that everything is sound and ready to go. I'm just not quite to that point yet. But aside from that, that's obviously the biggest thing that's going to come up when talking about medical advancements. But to think of where medical advancements are truly at this point in time is absolutely insane. It's completely astounding. The fact, if you look at the population of people over 60 years old, it is absolutely insane. 200 years ago, we'll go even farther back, 1,000 years ago, we would not have had half the amount of people over the age of 60 that we have now. It's absolutely insane. Which you can argue if that's good or bad. Should we be allowing these people to live that long? In an ethical standpoint, yes. And no, I know it's laughable and it sounds like a joke.
No, I'm thinking more of, you're talking about people over 60, and I'm thinking like cavemen's getting eaten by wild animals.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like let's be honest. 100 years ago, okay, let's say 60 years ago, we'd have all been in war. You might be just a little bit past the point of you being able to have to go on war, but you'd probably already have been in a different war by this point in time.
Right.
You know what I mean? 1,000 years ago we'd have been in war. 2,000 years ago we'd have been in war. And more than likely we'd be dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a year or two from the time span that we have now, we'd be dead. So people are living longer. We do technically live in the most peaceful time that's ever been of age, which is beautiful. It's a gift that we completely undermine. We don't realize the gift that we really have at this point in time.
It just doesn't seem like it because the internet is basically posting everything that puts everyone in each other's throats.
Exactly.
24/7, all you see is media that makes you fucking angry and shit.
It's just hate.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all it is hate. And I've been so tempted to just like kind of kick my own profile off everything.
I've been real
I've
close.
heard
I've been
people
real
doing it
close.
just
Yeah.
because that's all it is just negativity.
It's
There's
because
nothing positive.
It spreads a hateful rhetoric from both sides. It's because everybody wants to be right. The ego comes in check, and then once the battle starts going back and forth, well, I'm right, no, you're right, no, I'm right. And it's like everybody starts fighting and fighting and fighting, and then that breeds hate. And it's like, we're fighting for the same fucking thing. People don't understand that. They have to get past the lens of, I have to be the one that's right. And it's like, no, you need to come to a compromise on so many different levels, and people just don't understand that.
You don't have to be one that's right. You need to be one that promotes change for the better of fucking humans. Like,
Exactly.
not fucking humans, but humans.
Fucking humans, yeah. Fuck
I mean, yes.
humans too.
Yeah,
We love
fuck
fucking
humans.
humans.
They're all
Yes, everybody's got to
beautiful, though.
fuck. Spend that shit. You're young, man. Fuck everybody you want to. Why not? But just don't fuck them over. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. Don't fuck anybody over. There's no reason to. We've evolved past that point in time. We know the dangers and the ineptitudes that are coming towards everybody. So why not enjoy the time that you have and try and help as many people as possible?
It's funny, the age where people are living longer is the age it seems like everyone's just acting like fucking children.
Fools. Fools, man. Everybody's fucking fools, and hopefully they figure it out. It's because hard times make strong men, and strong men make good times, and good times make weak men, and weak men make hard times, and hard times make strong men. It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Everything goes in a fucking cycle. It's all cyclical. And hopefully we can figure that out, and we can finally get to the point where we can avoid that level of apocalyptic annihilation
Couple more
that we always
generations.
seem to be fucking drawing ourselves right to. We're right on the precipice. It's either that or it's complete liberation. And we gotta see what we're gonna fucking get, and we gotta figure it out soon, because I gotta pee. I gotta fucking pee.
Such a good fucking way to just draft off into that. You having fun so far?
Yeah.
Good.
No, it's good. It's good.
Got that.
Eventually, I'll have to finish my Lasik talk, and like I'll go into details exactly what
How
happened on
it
the day,
happened.
so then they can know, like, in case someone's like, yeah, I've been thinking about it. You know,
I know a few people who have been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll help.
it's worth it. It's
A little bit daunting at first, especially
Yes.
probably after what you say in a minute.
It is.
Describing
It's
it.
if you can get past, at least if it's anything like what I've been through, like I said, 15, 20 minutes, if you get someone with that technology that's as high as it is, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, like I said, it might even be painful. It's kind of like in a way like going to the dentist. It's
Yeah.
never
But it's
fun.
20 minutes of your life to change it for like 20
15,
years.
Yeah, 15, 20 years.
Like, you can do it. I mean, yeah, it's expensive out of pocket if that's how you have to do it. And most people have to do it like that because it's more of a cosmetic thing.
Well, there's a thing called Care Credit.
Oh, okay.
And that's a 0 interest for 24 months.
Oh, nice.
So I can pay $150 a month on that, and I won't have to pay a dime more. And
Okay.
I found out it's a little under $150. I'll just pay $150 all the way through for the 24 months. and it's just that's it.
See,
That's
I
a
think,
great
I
deal.
think I had to try to at least apply for care credit when I had to have my wisdom teeth taken out because they wanted like $850 fucking dollars because insurance doesn't cover it because not everyone has to get them out at some point.
Yep, that's bullshit.
But it is because there's still a chance of everyone having to get them out. Like you don't know who the fuck's you don't go into a child's mouth when they're born and like tridents, but yeah, they might have enough room for wisdom teeth in about 20 years. Like
I mean they grow sometimes sideways. I
Yeah.
know people. I mean that's something you can't control that.
No.
So that is something that would deserve to have insurance because it's just like you having something wrong with your lungs or something like that, and you're not a smoker. I mean, that's not your fault. That's just how your body is. That's how it is.
It's the luck
you
of
can't
the draw.
I can't get insurance for that. That doesn't make any sense. You have no control over that.
And I had to fucking go to my mom like a fucking beggar and ask her for some fucking money so I could get this fucking pain out of my fucking mouth because it's been going on for like 2 weeks at the time. That was like last July or some shit. I went to the dentist, got the x-rays done. They're like, yeah, you should probably take those out. And so, went up to the, not optometrist, the fucking orthopedic surgeon. I don't know why I said optometrist. We've been talking about eyes, so.
This comes into it, yeah.
I went up to the orthopedic surgeon. They looked at me. Yeah, bless you. They looked at me. Nurse told me I had great teeth, but my wisdom teeth needed to come out. So I went to my mom like a fucking beggar, asked her for $850 fucking dollars, like. Went up to her like all proposition like, hey ma, hey ma, got a proposition for you, ma. My mouth is hurting. But yeah, she ended up pretty much letting me go with the rest of it. Like that's you can call that privilege. Like I'll even admit that. Like I paid about half of it. My mom was like, "Okay, you're good." That's pretty privileged.
That's
not
nice.
like being forced to pay back. It is nice, but
It's just your mom showing love, though.
yeah, it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
It'd be different if it was like
a friend,
cousin or something that you don't talk to, but he's wealthy.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, nah, go keep it.
Yeah.
Cousin, I haven't seen her in about 12 years. Yeah, keep that. But yeah, it still feels weird. Like I know it's just my mom showing me love and shit like that, and I appreciate it. I really do because it was even hard paying that. I was paying like $50 a paycheck, and even half the time I still couldn't fucking make that because I was like strapped this fucking close because I get bi-weekly pay, so I have to like make $600 last 2 weeks. And I could budget my money better and not get like 2 of these every fucking day.
But
it's depressing. It's sad to go through something.
It's just bi-weekly sucks. I've been there, and I'm fortunate for what we have. As much as I fucking hate our job,
more if you don't make enough.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like you gotta understand. All of us are already underpaid as is, and then you got to pay your taxes so you would be okay if you didn't have to do that, but you got federal, state, you got this to live in a certain county, you got to pay for that, and it's just like
I would say my bring home every week would be like $900 to $1,000 fucking dollars, but I end up bringing around like between $650 and $750 each fucking pay period, and it's like god damn. Why the fuck?
Exactly.
But I understand why we pay taxes, but I just wish Michigan would kind of put our taxes to good use, like for our fucking roads and shit. I'm getting really sick of like having to repair my car.
Which they
$1,500.
used to do. That's one of my things that really pee me off is you'll go hit a pothole that's not fixed, and then you have to go fix it. But in the past, that was something that would be from the taxes because that wasn't fixed. You would just give them the receipt for that, and they would. I don't know how the system is because that was before I started driving. But that's what they used to do. And I'm like, why would you stop something like that?
Yeah.
And that's one problem from both state and the federal perspective is that they're raping us on our taxes, and yet they're putting it towards things that nobody wants it to go towards. That's the problem.
50 roundabouts. It's like it just depends on how busy that road is. I mean, it might be at a specific time, but
I am one of the few people that do like roundabouts.
I do too. Just because of Marquette, Michigan. That's it, hands down.
But
I love it up there.
I do love just driving around them.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point, you gotta get used to the direction. Gotta get used to reading the signs as you go. But I think fucking roundabouts are great because traffic doesn't stop. Everything keeps in a nice even flow. And, people get to work on time because, they're not stuck at traffic lights and shit like that. More productivity, less people being pissed off that they're late when they can just keep fucking driving. They know exactly how long it takes to get to their fucking work from there.
Exactly. But I do believe the problem lies in, like, Michigan, for example. I can't necessarily speak for Indiana because I don't really know much about Indiana except that I work there. Mm-hmm. But in Michigan, for example, every governor has raised taxes for roads every single fucking time that they've got elected, and every time nothing ever goes into the roads. The roads are always just as shitty. Yes, geographically are fucked because of the way that the weather happens. When winter comes, it completely destroys our roads. That's just an inevitable reality. But they're not taking the money that we're putting into the roads. They're not putting that into the roads.
Right.
They're not doing it. They're taking that money and putting it elsewhere.
Instead of repaving it, they're buying cheap fucking like cement
peat
or
stone.
asphalt. Yeah,
yeah, they do peat stone, and that doesn't do nothing but crack people's windshields.
Well, the thing that I think that they should everywhere should do for every state is that I think that they should do like solar panels.
I agree.
Lights.
We do have some actually, which is really cool. I don't know if you've seen them out by the scrapyard, in our town.
You pay a little bit more for those kind of lights, and then you don't have to pay electricity.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
It'd be great.
Painted lines on the road. That's another one of mine.
Thank you, sir.
That's another one of mine that really irritates me. Is especially like driving here. I've never driven in Sturgis. I don't believe.
How bad of a drive was it?
It wasn't bad.
Was it bad?
I mean,
you take all back roads or you come highway?
Probably 12, I would imagine.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
I was behind an RV. That was I had to find a way to get around him, but it took a while because I just couldn't because there was too many turns. I couldn't see the cars. But I eventually got around them. That was one reason why I wasn't here.
See, it's a decent drive though, isn't
it? It's not. Well,
yeah.
that was actually a little bit of the way where I went to Grand Rapids. It was actually similar.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because you did say you went up through White Pigeon and everything. You probably turned right there on 12 and then drove that all the way over here. I would imagine. That's the way I take from work every day.
That's what I figured. Yeah. But like painted lines and solar panel lights. It's like. There's multiple things, and like for example where I live, the town, when I go to my ASA softball games, they redone the whole like town, and they put islands in like the middle with trees and whatnot. It looks nice, but the lanes are so small, and there's so much traffic there. It makes no sense at all. You made something that looked nice. Because the town is kind of shabby, it's not even that.
They want to
nice
gentrify it. They want to gentrify everything that's like low-income areas, and then they want to drive the poor people out of those fucking low-income areas and make them go live back in the fucking slums while they rejuvenate everything.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
But yeah, it's just, it's so difficult. Like you literally, if you take your eyes off of that, you will hit the curb because it's so. Like you have to be like perfect. It's like going in a parking space. To be honest, it's so snug. It's like, you guys are dumb. Why would you waste my money on something like that to have an island? You could just have it on the side. No one's gonna care. Why would you?
Sturgis is like that. They have like their islands on the side with all the trees and the fucking light posts and shit like that.
They put an island in that's such a bitch because when I go to my grandpa's retirement home, we would always turn right there, and they put an island right in a spot where I can't turn there now. It pisses me off.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But I want to kind of like split from where we're at right now, and I just want to ask you, how are you feeling about the podcast right now? You know what I mean? Your first time going, you seem to be doing really well.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. I'm buzzing right now.
Buzzing, boy.
Buzzing, but in a great way.
Basically because I've been awake since like fucking 3:30 this morning.
Fuck that. Yeah, I got good sleep in last night. I'll have to explain it to you guys later on because I don't really want to say it on camera, but we'll talk about that later.
Do you want me to finish the Lasik thing? Like
yeah. Keep going about it. Keep going about it. Because I was gonna bring up like religion, not like to debate about it, but just a topic.
Okay.
So yeah, go on.
But yeah, so with the Lasix, I'll say what happened start to finish because you are awake when this happens. So
which is nuts to me. I don't think I could personally be awake and do it. Like, oh my god.
I don't know if you could sleep. That might be an option because they do crank your eyes open. So okay,
just Clockwork Orange me.
So getting there, the eye doctors are kind of telling me how it's gonna go, what's gonna happen, what I need to do when I get done with it. I have to take a lot of drops, artificial drops and stuff like that to hydrate my eyes, a steroid, and a antibiotic to keep it from not getting infected. But
which you've been doing throughout the work week too.
Yes, he's been seeing me doing it too.
Stopping through random points.
I can't do that. I can't build that. I gotta put.
And it's really fucking dusty where we work at, which is also
gosh.
really bad. And I mean, P-traps and shit. That would be a bitch. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. I'll get all that insulation in my eyes. I'd be screwed.
That shit sucks.
I'd be screwed.
That shit sucks.
But so I did that, and they read off everything I need to know, and they asked me if I was good, and I'm like, all right, let's go. I don't know what to expect, but we'll do it. So we go into this room, and it's all decked out with, I got this big chair to lay up against. You got the, it's like, it kind of looks like one of those machines that you would get like a CAT scan or something like that, like MRI kind of thing. You go in it, or like, with cancer, you go in the tube. It's kind of like that in a way. It's not as big.
Is it real tight? You said
no,
it's not as big.
It's not. You don't actually go in.
Oh.
It just kind of, when I first looked at it, that's what it reminded me of.
Okay.
So it's not exactly, because you lay on a bed. It's kind of like you do at the doctor, but it looks a lot nicer. It's much nicer, of course. And then it's got a machine, whatever, robot, and it goes over like that. Kind of like, in a way, like a dentist kind of thing, where it goes over.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that, but it's really bulky. And then it goes over. You lay down, and he gave me 2 stress balls. He said, when you feel like you want to blink, squeeze these, because you can't. You can't blink. And of course you can't blink anyways, because the first thing that he ended up doing was give me a numbing eye drops. They put those in your eyes to not feel the pain, obviously, not do that. And it was quick. I didn't really wait. He put those in, and then he was like, all right. And he got started, started getting started. He put this crank, and of course I can't really see exactly. I didn't get to observe it. But it's something to kind of crank your eye to stretch your eyelid.
A lid lock.
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah. So to get it locked, so I can't.
We were just watching. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, so it was exactly that. And that was uncomfortable because my eyelids already are not really big. I don't have big eyelids, so it was really stretchy, and that was pretty uncomfortable. That was one of the things that were really uncomfortable, because I was like, my gosh, I feel like you're about to rip my eyes out. Like my eyes are about to fall out because it's stretched so much. But they have to do that to make sure you don't blink, because you can't do that when doing lasers. It's got to stay open. So he did that at first, and then the next thing was it was like a ring. I don't know exactly what it was. It's like kind of maybe like a magnifying glass to kind of get real up close on it.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like, because it showed once I was looking straight up, obviously it was a ring, and it just kind of got smaller like that. And then once they got it leveled up, and I was looking exactly where they wanted me to look, because I wasn't looking exactly because I didn't really know. And they're like, okay, look at this white ring. See this white ring? Look at it. And they were like, tell me to look at this. And then once I finally got it, on the same page as them, then the machine came down. And that's when the suction of it, to make sure my eye would stay still, it suctioned my eye.
Oh man!
So
how does that feel?
It was like it's kind of like a vacuum, pretty much, like a hole that's smaller than your eyeball, so it stays still. It does not move. So
That's
it's like
so weird.
It felt like someone was pushing their thumb on my eye.
See,
That's
like,
what it felt
like I used to be a weird. Obviously, I'm still a weird ass person. You both know how fucking weird I am. So I used to touch myself in the eye just to see what it would feel like, and I can only imagine having fucking something on your eye, dude. No way.
I had a hard time doing it with contacts. It took me forever. I'm like,
oh
gosh.
I used to touch my eye, but I don't anymore. I know where my hands.
Oh yeah, now I'm smart. I'm talking when I was a little kid, but when I was a little kid,
I couldn't even do that.
fuck. but like I'm 20 and like I do stuff that I know is dumb, but isn't too bad. But like, but like when I was a kid, I would do all kinds of dumb shit and. Yeah, fuck that. I hate anything being touched on my eye. Weird, let alone suction and then a knife.
Yeah, so I didn't have the knife because I had the updated technology, so it was actually a bladeless cut. It was actually the laser that cut it.
Straight laser cut.
Straight laser.
That's
no blades.
Nuts.
Laser cut.
I wonder how, like, the technology that it is
and
that
I
allows
don't know,
that.
like, how far, like, how can they get it to where it only goes just far enough?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to research
that's some Star Wars stuff right
there. Some Star Wars shit right there.
But, yeah, so they suctioned it down, and then it just went down, and it closed. And they put the eye that they're not messing with, they put a black patch on. So once that lowered down where they were going to make the cut, I couldn't see anything. It was all black.
Fuck that.
Black. I mean, it went down and pressed on me. And it was like this. It was black. I couldn't see anything.
I bet in that mode you're kind of like fight or flight, like.
Yeah, I was like.
Like, what the fuck?
I was like, okay, I mean, I trust you guys, but I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, this is a little freaky, man. I can't see nothing.
For real.
I could see on my left eye at that point, and it just went black. And
dystopian medicine right there.
Yeah, dude, I was like, holy cow.
Fuck that, bro.
And then they got it cut, and it said, the guy said, cut clear or something like that. He said like, cut complete. And then it did that. And then they took it, and they had little, it kind of actually, now that's when it started getting blurry. Once it started touching it, my eyes started getting real blurry. And again, my eyes are already not great because at that time they weren't great. So it was blurry, and then that happened. And then I saw kind of look like a little metal hook. And so grab the tip of the outside of it to peel it up. So they peeled it up.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Right there, I'd been puking. Right in spot.
Yeah, so they peeled that up, and they got it all good and whatnot. And then they had to switch it. So they took the patch off, put it on this side, did the same exact thing on the right side. Exactly the same. Had to look at it and whatnot. Then once they got both of them up, they slide me over. And again, I can't see, so I don't know exactly, but there was another machine. That's the machine that I look at. It's got green little lasers. It kind of looks like a laser show, really. I gotta look at the green lasers. That's the thing that's gonna laser whatever's wrong with my eye, whatever it is, the corrosion or whatever. That's what lasers it off, and I could smell the burning. I smell it.
So wait, you just said it. Is that what it is? It's corrosion?
I don't know.
Like
that's
corrosion
what I
on the cornea?
assume. It's like, it's probably something.
Is it like
it's
when you like when you get a cataract, except before that forms, in a sense?
My dad got cataract surgery about 6-7 years ago. He said it was fairly similar to that.
See, I told you the first squirrel I ever shot had a cataract on its eye, and it was the weirdest thing because I didn't realize animals could get cataracts. I shot that motherfucker dead. But
I'm calling PETA.
Yeah, PETA. Yeah, exactly. But no, that's nuts. That makes sense if that's what they're doing. It's burning back that whatever the fuck it is that's building.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. I couldn't tell you the exact what it was. I didn't even ask. But that's what I assume. It's some kind of corrosion. I mean, that's got to be something similar to that, to what's covering my vision. Because I feel like we all have that vision, but something is what's fogging it up. Something. Because again, I can see up close, but I can't see far. So maybe however your eye works, the part that sees far is, and like, if you didn't know, in your brain, everything is upside down. So I thought that was kind of cool too. So it's like, there's so much to the eye you don't really know. I don't know. I didn't study it. But yeah, so they did that. They did the laser. That only took 5 seconds. He counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, both times. So it was only 5 seconds. It wasn't bad. Once they did that, I saw him. He threw it back on there. Threw it back on there, and then he took like a little brush, and I could it's foggy, but I could see he's brushing. So it was like eye glue or something.
He's brushing your eye.
Yeah. Yeah, he's brushing it with like a brush to put like glue to like
seal your fucking the lens together.
That was it. Wow. You did that. Got on there.
Wow,
so
that's nuts.
Do you notice a difference already? This was last Friday you got it done?
Clear.
This was last Friday?
Last Friday, yep.
Wow, and you're already seeing better.
So I was seeing better that day.
Wow.
It was, after that happened, they said that I needed to keep my eyes closed as best I could for 4 hours after. So I did my best to kind of just try to sleep. On the way back, my father ended up taking me, because you got to have a driver. So he took me back home. Actually, I stayed at his place, and I just slept in the guest room. So it took 2 hours to get home, and then I walked up to the room, and I just went straight there. I was like, all right, I'm just going to, do this for another 2 hours, 2.5 hours, make sure it's all good. I got up. I had to go pick up another prescription. So once I got all that, I just wore the sunglasses they gave me. They gave me like some of them that were really dark to kind of, because it was sunny that day too. And yeah, I just went there and got it all and just started the eye drops how they told me to do it.
Yeah, because you came in the following Monday, and of course, immediately I was laying in the house, I was tired as fuck, and I was like trying to wake up. I was expecting you to come up, and I was trying to be fucking like awake and responsive enough to have a good fucking like thing to say to you, but I was too tired. But yeah, your eyes look cool as fuck. That was the first thing I noticed, was like, damn, dude, your eyes look awesome. Still do, but they are fading. It is slowly starting to go away.
They said the bloodshot eyes will last for probably around the total of 3 weeks. And I'm already a weekend, so it probably has about another 2.
So that's too bad.
But either way, that's an absolute insane procedure, and it was perfect timing because we had already planned on having you on the podcast regardless, and this just gave us something like another topic to talk about because I've never had LASIK.
I feel like a lot of people kind of wonder, because some people get tired of the glasses and the contacts, and so it's definitely, I think it's something that a lot of people are curious about. I've already been asked. I play, like I said, in the softball. I've had at least half a dozen, if not close to a dozen, people ask me, hey, how is it going? Whoa, you can see good, you're doing, so everyone's kind of intrigued by it.
Are you still sensitive to light?
Yeah, the light is still a sensitive thing, especially playing at like I said, the softball. The field has low lights. They're not like what you would normally see at like a professional baseball game or even like a minor league, like the South Bend Cubs or something like that are AAA. They have higher lights like professional baseball kind of thing. They're lower, so that makes it even harder to see. And when it was night, and I had a game last night, it was all dark, and the only light is that light. Since it's so low, it really was kind of bothering me. And they wanted me to wear sunglasses, but I'm like, I could not play and wear sunglasses at night with the lights. I wouldn't be able to do it. So I made it through. I think I did okay, why not with it, but it is still pretty sensitive. The sun makes it outside. It makes it real when it's real bright.
How are the studio lights?
They're not too bad. They're covered, so that one's actually a little brighter than those. But
plus, you're facing this direction instead of straight at them. Which probably
how are the lights affecting you?
I'm fine. I mean, I'm buzzing, but I'm good. Like, it's actually perfect. And, for a change of perspective compared to what we normally do, it's actually nice. It's nice because I'm lowered, so I'm not quite the center of attention. I'm empowered, or I'm emasculated. No, it's perfect. It's perfect because that allows for the guest to come in. I thought about you being in the center, but it's almost too much for the guest to be in the center because then you do feel completely berated with everything. And like specifically since I'm bringing you in from my realm and he's never met you before, it helps to mediate between the conversation, even though you guys are directly looking at each other and I'm off to the side. And the same thing when he brings a guest on, it's going to be the same thing. He'll be in the middle, we'll be looking at each other, but he'll be there to mediate between the two, which you guys have no problem with. You're already doing, great enough with the camera and everything. And we've got enough topics to talk about.
Yeah, the first fucking episode we did, like, first time in front of the camera, we were nervous as fuck.
Bad.
It was like probably, beautiful people. It was probably like 20-30 minutes of the camera being on before we actually started taking it serious, but we eventually got to it.
It's a new thing for you guys. I mean, you're gonna get nervous.
Well, you now, it's definitely very new for you now.
Yeah, it's new, but I mean.
But it's fun. Once you get into the rhythm, you see it goes easier.
Do you take a lot of pictures? Are you used to? No.
Man,
I don't, but I take some serious ones, and he's
Yeah.
I don't do a whole lot of smiling because it's just one of the people think it's kind of awkward.
God.
It's only good. I feel like it's only normal for me to smile with like friends if you take it. But by yourself, it's like you just look like a goofy.
I'm not laughing at your pictures. I'm laughing at
a
the
little
picture
bit,
that I
yeah.
edited though, because I want to show you, but I don't think I can find it because
That
it's
was
on
on
my
your old
other
phone,
phone.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it was so fucking funny.
Yeah, I take a lot of serious, but I did that specifically for you. I took another one, and yeah, they're just serious face photos because I feel like me cheesing kind of makes me look like a weirdo.
Oh, I get it. That's why I don't take pictures.
That's
I
what you
never
said.
take pictures.
Yeah.
I never take fucking
Dude,
pictures.
that's
And I
why-
should. We should honestly take a picture after this. As much
Let's
as
do
I
it.
fucking hate taking pictures, let's do
That's
it.
a memory.
Yeah, because this is episode fucking 10. This is our first guest. This
Yeah.
is a milestone episode right here.
Yeah.
Even if you guys don't care at all. And I love that you're even paying attention to get to this fact, but like, it's insane. It's
How's your
insane.
elbow there?
To me, that wasn't even that bad, bro. I can go way worse
fine?
right now. I can destroy some shit like we do at
I
work.
heard, I heard you do it again.
Yeah.
It made me fucking cringe.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna rub my elbow.
Yeah.
Very quick.
Not
Yeah.
even close.
My
But,
elbow feeling funny.
Yeah.
My
But it-
elbow feeling strange.
But it's definitely a milestone, and just to branch out from that, it was perfect timing that you had Lasik for this podcast in general.
I'm glad that it worked out.
I'm sure that alone took up at least an hour. We're probably at an hour and a half by this point in time, if
And
not more.
even like this week's schedule, it worked out so well because you said you could only be able to do Saturdays or like Memorial Day.
Just for I
Yeah.
could do Memorial Day if that's
Yeah.
something you guys want to do.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
Which is what day exactly?
That's the end of this month.
Let's
May
plan it.
1st.
Let's plan it if I have time with everything
I'm
that's
down
going
with-
on with my shit. I don't know. I've been
I'm
kind
down
of
with
flat.
it.
I'll talk with you more
Yeah.
about that at the end. But
Alright.
yeah, if it'll work, we'll do it.
Cool.
But yeah, it just lined up so well because I think you were the one that said you wanted to try to get him over here as soon as possible.
Mhm.
So like this weekend was perfect because usually we shoot on Fridays,
Mhm.
but this week we're doing it on Saturday. God damn it. We're doing it on Saturday. And I was at the flea market Friday
Bring
night
that duck up.
and fucking I think we were up to only 10, but me and my girlfriend camped out there.
Mhm. Can I show what you got me?
Yeah.
Bro, because I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I really fucking
But
do.
You better swipe that before you walk by me.
Yeah, for real.
but
I'm just trying to crop dust.
and there it goes again.
Yeah, fuck it.
But so we get there, we're helping our uncle set up everything to sell for the flea market. And we have the tent set up at the spot. And this is a weird situation because, there's like no fencing separating rows. So people are walking between vendors. Hey, when you're trying to sleep, man, you hear like footsteps by your fucking tent of like other vendors and shit. It's weird.
That would be weird.
It's
That's like
fucking
Friday
weird.
the 13th.
And like people are like out at 11 p.m. with flashlights looking at shit like they have out on the table, see what they can get a head start on for tomorrow. But it's dude, we had people like shining flashlights like at our stuff, and we were like behind a motorcycle he was selling. So like people were shining on the motorcycle, but it was hitting our fucking tent, and like that was pretty much right in our eyes. We got this shitty tent. It was like 50% fucking mesh netting, and we had like that topper on it. And yeah, the wind was like 40 miles, not 40, probably like 20, 30 miles an hour last night, and like 30 degrees. We went to bed at 10. I woke up at like 3:30 because I was like getting hypothermia.
How far was that from?
That was in Ligonier.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the Ligonier swap meet, like the
Okay.
animal
Do you know
swap.
where that's at?
Yeah.
Because I barely know. I've heard of it, but I don't know where
It's
it's
like
at.
an hour away from here.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, it was like fun. So I woke up at 3:30. My girlfriend woke up at about 4:30. Might have been even closer to 5 at that point. But people were starting to come in because it only goes to like 5 a.m. to noon. The entire flea market. Then people gotta fucking pack up and leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird they don't give them a weekend at least.
Mhm.
But it's in this farmer's field. This farmer makes bank. It's like $20 a spot for each vendor and like $10 a carload.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people go there.
Yeah, that's insane.
But so My girlfriend wakes up maybe about an hour after I did. I'm fucking like just trying to get warm, holding close to her and shit. And she finally wakes up, and I'm like, we can walk back to the car and sit in there for like an hour, turn the heat on. She was fucking freezing too. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. She didn't even wake up for like 2 minutes. She was like, yeah, let's go to the fucking car.
It was freezing last night.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I played last night and it was on top of that with the wind too.
Dude, the wind was horrible. And because of the canopy going over our tent, it was like a little tunnel. It'd go under, hit the side of the tent, then it'd go under the canopy, and like all that wind would go into the netting.
Dude, that's torture.
Yes, it's cold, bro.
You guys just make it all night and go home and sleep.
Yeah,
well worth it though.
3:30. I woke up and we went and got the breakfast they were serving there, Amish biscuits and gravy. It's pretty good.
You know how much I love biscuits and gravy.
Dude, biscuits and gravy are so fucking good.
Shout out Cockadoodle Cafe, bro.
Oh, dude, there's a place, I think it's in Angola, it's called Mama's Place or some shit like that.
Let's go.
We should.
All of us, let's go.
We should.
It's Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I don't know that place, but I know Angola. That'll be a little bit, that's probably
about an hour.
pushing. No, I think it'd be a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it might be an hour from my girlfriend's house.
I was gonna say, because that's a little bit of ways for me, where I'm
I can't remember. I think it was Angola, yeah. It was either that or Fremont. But they
I've heard
might
of
be next
Fremont.
to. They might be right next to each other. I don't know.
It's a good thing we have phones. We can just
exactly. Yeah.
But no, dude, this place had biscuits and gravy that was like 2 fucking cakes of biscuits smothered in gravy. It was so good.
I'm showing this real quick. My homeboy got me this. I fucking love it, dude. This thing is badass. This is amazing.
Yeah, I saw the Jerry Bears and I'm like, yep, I can't not buy that.
Where'd you get that at?
Oh, the swap meet.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the same place I got my first drug rug. This actually isn't my first. I left my first one at my girlfriend's house.
Girlfriend or?
Yeah, current girlfriend. And because I bought both of them yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I accidentally only grabbed this one because the other was laying on her bed and I just grabbed my backpack before I left. But,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty fucking good so far. We've had quite a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm starting to lose my bearings. I'm getting buzzed, but I'm having fun, and I hope that you're having fun for your first episode. I hope you're having fun.
Was this worth the drive from Elkhart?
Yeah. I mean, it was only an hour, so I mean, it's not bad, and I wanted to see how you live.
You see my humble abode now.
Humble abode. Yep.
Not only the humble
you
abode,
mine,
but
and now I see you gotta get your Amazon Echo. You gotta get that up.
I do need to get that. I need to clean a little bit more. I did try to clean. I'm fine with being embarrassed in front of him. He knows how bad I am sometimes.
He has no shame with me.
Because my house was spotless.
Right? Well, I get in my depressed mode, then I don't clean, and I'm too busy as it is. But at least, you've got to see the humble abode, and then on top of that, you've got your first taste of fucking production as it is. So that was one good thing.
Yeah, our humble production studio.
It's not bad.
But it works. It works. You know what I mean? We've been putting out some, I would say, solid content for ourselves, just because that may be my arrogant, egotistical fucking point of view, but I like what we've personally been putting out.
This is a jump. Even if you guys say you guys did blow up, this is a jump. And this is the beginning of your journey.
Exactly, and you're a part of it, man. First fucking guest, so you were still written into the history, no matter what happened.
Yeah.
If I wind out being a fucking part of the 27 Club or whatever happened, you're a part of the history. So
I'm honored.
Everybody knows that much. I don't think we're quite done yet, but I think we can use this as a point to just free rap for a minute. We want to have you on as a guest again, as long as you're down with that. I think that'd be something really cool to do, because I want reoccurring guests. You and Chris, actually, from the back, he thinks he wants to come on and talk about veganism and things like that. So I'm excited to bring him on.
I talk about Dale the whole time, but whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, I bet he will. Exactly. But so we got that, and then. Just whoever we can find to get on the podcast in itself. I want to have recurring guests, and I want to have in time famous people that we can bring on, but I also want to still even if we can get to that level of Rogan level shit like that, I want to be able to have just regular ass people on at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to
Just
go
your
and
close friends, basically.
Yeah,
close
close
friends and a
friends.
lot of cool people you like interview every so often.
Exactly, and I want to interview homeless people. I don't care. Say what you want. You know what I mean? I want to. I
There's
want
a
to hear
guy on-
everybody's story.
There's a guy on YouTube who does that. I can't remember the YouTube channel, but he goes around talking to like homeless people. And a lot of times it's like teenagers, and he just asks them their story of how they ended up homeless. And a lot of these people are like, I left home at about 16 years old. Never really left a trace of where I went, and I'm just here trying to survive.
Exactly.
It's fucked up.
It is, but
A
that's
lot of
the
people
thing.
have that Californication fucking dream in their mind, so they all migrate to California. That's why they have such a homeless problem, because, you know, a young kid leaves home with nowhere to go. Fuck it, why not go to California? What do I got to lose? But then they can't afford the fucking price of living. They don't want to get a regular job. They want to try to make it as like an entertainer. Yeah. You want to make it as an entertainer, but
And not even, I don't even see it as making it as an entertainer, but I just love what we produce. I love being able to actually put myself in front of the camera, because as Steve-O puts it, we immortalize ourselves in front of the camera, you know. Regardless of what happens, this is still going to exist, and we'll be able to look back on this 4
You
years
love
from now.
being a teacher.
I love
Yeah,
it.
you do.
I love teaching people
You
shit,
love
man.
telling them.
I love teaching people shit, even if it's fucking years beyond what they actually want to accept and integrate. I love trying to teach people, and I need to learn on myself. You know, I'm also a student as much as anybody else. Everybody has as much to learn as the next person, but
Learn something every day.
exactly, yep, completely. And I
if you
just-
don't naturally learn something, try something. Like, try to learn something.
exactly.
Look up shit you may or may not be wrong about. You know, do a little bit of research for both sides.
Completely, and honestly, I just love how it's culminated into this podcast in itself. Because even this went so much better than I thought it could have even went.
What,
I mean,
this episode or the podcast?
Just the podcast and the episode in itself. Both of them. I had such a worried mindset going into the podcast as it was. I was so anxious and so awkward and trying to get into it. And then, yes, this particular episode, bringing you on to see how that's going to flow with Dalton and see how you guys mix together. And you guys mix together perfectly. And you know what I mean? And like, yes, we're going to get into the religious debate on the next episode or the episode after that, because we always tend to get into that, and we always tend to get into that.
It's something that it's life.
It's life, and it's something that happens. It's your complete supreme views on whatever is happening in this reality, and you're bringing it together in a charismatic event where you're trying to battle and trying to get your point of view across to the other, and
it is honestly good having like 3 different takes on religion, because that just shows anyone who watches that people can have a civil conversation about shit.
Exactly, and religion and politics and life and celebration and every single thing that you can think of, and just down to the most menial and arbitrary subjects. Everybody, all 3 of us have our own views on everything. Yes, we come together. We all 3 love Metallica, fucking Injustice for All. Every one of us loves that album. One of my favorite fucking albums, you know what I mean? But we all have, you know, the similar ideas, and we have conflicting ideas, both in the same
There's
sentence.
endless amount of things you can like and dislike, and that's what makes you you.
Yes, exactly, and that brings upon the perspective of the individual, and from our perspective, what we're pushing is to, you know, the empowerment of the individual, no matter what you are. We don't care about your race, we don't care about your religion, we don't care about where you come from or what you identify as. It's the empowerment in thinking about that level of who you are and what you want to produce in this world, which I wish I could figure out for myself. But
20, you still got time.
I still got time, I hope. I keep saying that, but that's also a trap.
Dude, I'm honestly like so proud of my girlfriend's daughter, because, you know, I was walking from my girlfriend's room to the front door so I could, you know, hit my vape and shit. I don't hit it like in the house when it's closed. I go to the door, blow my smoke out. But I was walking by her room and I heard fucking Metallica on there, and I'm like, oh, fucking awesome.
That gives me hope.
Honestly.
That honestly fucking just not infuriates my soul. That just what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. I'm starting to get buzzed. That ignites my soul.
Chills.
Yeah, exactly. It gives me chills. It's so beautiful to know that the younger generation is finally fucking paying attention to something that's old and so crafted.
If she keeps listening to it, that's, completely up to her. But just the fact that she took it upon herself to look into it. You know what I mean? Exactly. I didn't say, hey, this is a band you should check out, and she followed up. Her mom knows Metallica, right? But she probably didn't blare it as much as I do when I'm pulling in the driveway and shit. And it was just cool to see because it was putting in perspective people do still find my type of music, at least, or anyone's type of music naturally still. It's not all on K-pop or kid-friendly bands and country music.
Exactly, and regardless if it's something that you or me or he listens to, the fact that people are going back in time to listen to something that was released. Metallica could be anywhere to 40 years ago by this point in time.
God, don't fucking say that, man.
Just the fact that they're going back and actually listening to the forefathers of music that came beforehand. And they're actually taking the instruction and the fundamental things that were built upon the music that we have today. That alone excites me because that's how I've always seen myself, is looking to the past. We stand on the shoulders of the giants that come before us. That's the only reason we know and do what we do today, is because of those amazing geniuses or prophets or martyrs or scientists or whatever you want to call them that came before us. That's the only reason we can see things the way that we see them today.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to see the younger generation going back and actually and absorbing that, integrating that into their own being.
It is good to see.
Yeah, it's because we were talking about how music nowadays it's just a quick dollar anymore. There's no art, no craft to it. It's just here's a bot. This computer can make this sound. I go do that. I say a couple words. I throw it out. I make $1.
On the majority.
Yes,
I definitely
not all,
but there are some.
I feel like most of them are like that. It's
I
don't even listen to it.
Say me and my buddy, he's a guitarist, and we're wanting to start something. So far I'm doing vocals, but right now I'm learning how to do drums since we don't have a drummer. So that's what my main focus is right now. And learning how to drum is fun. Learning how to actually use an instrument instead of just looking up basic beats or having artists make you beats and sending them and paying for them. You're making your own fucking beats. You're kind of learning how to do everything on your own. It's good to learn an actual instrument.
It's all your role models, all your role models from all the bands, they were all there at that point.
Exactly.
So you're just thinking hey, I'm in the place where John Lennon was, or my favorite band. Or,
anybody, yeah.
And it all started there, where all you do is pick up 2 sticks and just all right, we're gonna do what we can with this, and we're gonna try to make something out of it.
Yeah, a lot of them, before they actually wanted to learn that, they do what every beginner drummer does. Before they even play their first pattern, they just fucking whack on that fucking whack on that fucking snare.
Whack on the snare. Just go for it. Yeah.
It's yeah, you hit that snare. It's and you yep, that's a drum. That's a drum. Hit the tom. That's a drum. Don't know what fucking tuning is yet or anything like that. Don't know what pattern. Can't keep time for shit. I can keep time all right, but my feet throw me off. I haven't separated my hands from my feet yet, so whatever my hands do, my feet want to do because I can mimic it.
You gotta split it up, and it's I have a good buddy who has been doing drums for as long as I've been there.
And you told me jazz drums at that, wasn't it?
He's big on jazz,
which is really cool to me. Yeah,
he's big on jazz, but I mean he could really do it all. I mean, the dude has his own business where he puts together certain drum sets. He'll I'll get this part and put together, make his own little set, and then he'll trade it or sell it or whatever, and he's got multiple, drum, just drums, and he just puts it together, and
Nice.
and he's played on multiple bands, he's played at multiple gigs at bars, and he's just, that's just what they do.
It inspires me to know that still exists.
Yeah.
My sister's dad gave her a drum set, like his old drum set, and she's letting us use it, but we've also modified, like we've got new cymbals for it, so we're just piecing shit together. Half the cymbals don't have those screws on it to keep them going.
The foam and
like we need to get like basic hardware.
Right.
But like I've gotten a new head for the snare. We're trying to rig some shit together on the snare to make it sound better. Got the sticks, it's just a bunch of random shit. We're kind of making our own kit.
You might be able to get some cheap, like on eBay.
Yeah.
eBay will give you some,
Exactly. I need to look for some double kicks next because the ones I had, the ones that she gave me are going out, and I want to put them off to the side and get some new ones.
Yeah,
and regardless, I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart that I am humbled, and I appreciate you guys so much letting me actually jam out with you at the time that I did. Even though I don't have time, and time is the biggest thing that I try to find for every project that I'm a part of. Yeah.
You can't control it. It does as it does.
It's a bitch, man. But I appreciated my time being able to jam out with you
So
guys.
it was fun when you were out there.
Exactly. As little as it was so much fun to me, and it did mean a lot.
I think you'd like the other guitarist. You'd have to meet him at some point.
Oh, you guys have a new guy?
Guitarist.
Nice.
And I'm not, like I said a few episodes ago, I'm not sure like how if they're gonna like switch rhythm and lead.
Oh, okay.
I think they're gonna do that because they're both really fucking good guitar players.
I remember you talking about that, but I didn't realize he was actually still working with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. You still gotta tell me who it is.
Oh yeah, I will after.
I know him,
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd like him. He's cool.
I'd like to meet him, yeah.
I'm just not sure if he wants me to say his name. I doubt he really gives a fuck.
Yeah, fuck all that. But either way, aside from blah, 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 all the bullshit, this was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you with fucking everything, man. You do more than I do.
I try.
I honestly feel like a little weak scapegoat piece of shit in this because I do so little compared to you and Alex. You and Alex are really the fucking stars of the show, man. And I appreciate everything you guys do, both of you, especially you, Alex.
Again, you provide the place, electricity,
the place,
and
you're the studio owner.
That's
evens
trivial.
out, man.
Yeah, but that's trivial. But
and besides,
I appreciate
it would just be me. Like, talking to myself about random fucking shit. You, like, add such a flavor to the conversation. It's
you make it unique.
Yeah. Yeah, like...
You make everyone feel so beautiful, man. That's what keeps it going, man. It's seeing your face.
Oh, fuck. That's funny. Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
You don't understand what that meant. The first episode when you said I'm beautiful, man. I perked right up, man. I was like...
Me? Fuck. Well, for everybody that's listening, you're fucking beautiful. I don't know. Are you guys satisfied with what we've got today? Do you have anything else to talk about? Yeah. If you've got anything else, throw it out there.
I think for our first guest episode, it's pretty good.
Pretty good. I love it. I really do. I appreciate everything. I appreciate the input. You know, we want you back on at some point in time. So hopefully
can't carry it on too long because we still don't know how the audio for this one's going to turn out.
True. So I gotta pee.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's the seventh time so far this podcast.
And this man may be indulging in something he's never tried before, so we've got
white chocolate
adventures to extreme.
I know.
We'll see where this
very adventurous.
We'll see where this day winds up. Thank you guys. I love you. 10 episodes. You're beautiful.
Thank you for tuning in.
We got a guest. We'll see where everything winds up.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Peace out.
Awesome.
Later.
Boom.